Welcome back to Filter. I'm Diane Mizoda, and we're counting down the most controversial games of all time. The rankings for Filter shows come directly from the responses you post on the G4 website. To make your vote count, log on to g4tv.com/filter and select the Filterator. Then choose a category, vote on a scale of 1 to 10, and we'll take care of the rest. While you're there, be sure to post your suggestions for topics and games you'd like to see covered in future episodes. But screw the Filterator for now, and let's get back to the countdown. What's better than a bunch of babes wearing next to nothing and having their flying around while they straddle trees? Well, I guess actually dating one, but you take what you can get. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball jiggles its way into number 7.
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball was controversial, but it certainly was, pretty trippy. And then it was, all these sort of beach volleyball girls who were, really sort of, attractive in these skimpy little bikinis and playing beach volleyball.
I mean, the only reason people buy it is to see the bikinis and the jumping and the stretching and the different bikinis you can get.
It's a swimsuit edition of, volleyball games. It's actually a fun volleyball game, and they have a sort of social aspect to things. Whatever, it's beach volleyball. What do you expect?
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball is controversial because the women are so hot and there is implied lesbianism there. The girls have relationships. They apply sunblock on one another. They hang out. It's good.
Not all offensive games are about babes in bikinis, blood, and gore. Conker's Bad Fur Day for the N64 is a 3D platformer starring a foul-mouthed squirrel named Conker. So in true Conker fashion, this little crawls its piece of attitude into the damn 6th spot. Enjoy.
Conker's Bad Fur Day was just funny. At the beginning of the game, he wakes up and he's drunk, and he has a bad hangover, and he's just saying bad words all over the place. And this was on the N64, which was at the time, didn't really have very many bad games.
First of all, it's a cartoon, so, parents are going to think, oh, it's a sweet game. Get a couple minutes into it, you're a drunk squirrel running around.
Conker's Bad Fur Day is controversial for many reasons. The one that I think is the best is having a boss monster called the Great Mighty Pooh, who is going to throw his doo-doo at you while you are throwing toilet paper in his mouth in order to defeat him. Comedy platinum right there.
It was strange because you had this sort of cartoony Nintendo game, yet it was this really mature content. It was actually a really fun game when it came out, but yeah, it was controversial, I guess, because it had, some suggestive language and some suggestive scenarios, and it was pretty violent.
Beauty isn't the only thing that's in the eye of the beholder. What may go over the line for me may be just fine for you. We asked around to see what people consider to be the most controversial thing they've ever seen in a game, and we couldn't find anybody good, so we went with these guys.
Probably the most controversial thing I've seen in a game is probably Vice City. Just everything society deems wrong, you can just do at the drop of a hat.
I think a lot of controversial games that are out nowadays is, some of the war games, you got terrorists and the whole politically correct, or they call the opposing forces instead of terrorists now because of what's happened.
That's tough because I don't consider wanton violence very controversial. In the game Metal Gear Solid, it opens a lot of issues about nuclear arms and nuclear buildup, a lot of current issues.
There's a game called Knock coming out soon. Part of the game is taking drugs, and you take weed to turn everything into bullet time because it slows it all down. Speed gets your energy up, and there's other stuff as well. But I mean, that kind of game will attract so much controversy.
One of the most controversial things I've ever seen in a game was actually from a Sierra game called Phantasmagoria. This was a live-action video game, and I mean, it included sort of full-on sex scenes and nudity and stuff like that. It really just sort of pushed limits, and that game to me was defined as basically trying to shock you. It definitely made me say, wow, I mean, the game industry, they really want to shock you with this game, and they definitely accomplished that.
So now that we're tired of listening to you guys, let's get back to the vulgarity. Sitting snug at number 5 is a game that's more controversial than Michael Jackson. It's the Postal series, and it's caught in the middle spot.
Postal is that great game that features none other than Gary Coleman shooting random people. It's made by Running with Scissors, and it uses the Unreal technology, and we're proud of it.
Postal was a game that just basically was just controversial. They were just trying to make people mad. You can take off people's heads and piss on their bodies and all that other stuff, but you're just killing people.
heard that was inspired by the postal workers because like a bunch of them had gone on shooting rampages at work. That makes it more topical and more sort of touching, especially to people who've been hit by that kind of event in real life. That could really push some buttons.
The game is just insane. Like, you can just walk up and piss on a person, light them on fire. You can do basically anything you want.
I don't think the games were ever very good, so I don't think people, really like them. But yeah, they certainly were controversial.
So, if lighting somebody on fire and having your way with them isn't your thing, then how about secretly photographing a group of models in their underwear? Pervert! Panty Raider from here to immaturity peeps in at number 4. Pervert!
Panty Raider, if I remember correctly, is a game where you basically save the world from aliens by throwing objects at girls to get them to take their clothes off.
Well, Panty Raider is pretty much controversial because it's pornographic, it's explicit, it's pretty controversial to me.
I don't see why it's so controversial. Everybody got their own opinion, If you don't want to play it, you ain't got to play it.
At a certain point, you would take a picture, and your picture would be judged based on, I guess, the sexiness of the picture. That's pretty controversial for when it came out. I don't know if it would be as controversial now. At that time, I don't think Americans thought the games were for anybody but kids. So the idea of like a mature subject in a game might have gone against the grain of typical society at that time.
If you're not offended yet, don't worry. The sickest is yet to come, so stick around. Fine! Don't come back, but you're gonna miss out. I'm serious. We're gonna rag on your mom and